Hey, how's it going, guys? I have another knife to review for you today, and this one's one of my favorites. I got this months and months and months ago. This came from George Eichard, and I was pronouncing that wrong in the past. I always said Icard, and it was just an assumption, but I had the pleasure of meeting George in person down at a blade show. I'll talk about that a little later in the video, but I was corrected. It is Eichard. I believe I'm getting that right. So anyway, what you have here is the GI Customs Backpacker, and this is one beautiful knife. My favorite thing about this knife, honestly, is just traditional look and feel to it completely. In the world of tactical, you know, it's really refreshing to see some old school designs. Very, very classic knife design here. Beautifully done file work on the back. This is his vine and thorn. Alright, starts at the base of the knife, rides up the whole spine, and gives you enough placement here for basically like a makeshift jimping. Super smooth, super finished, really, really nice. Just absolutely beautiful. Brown micarta, or Guicarta, I guess we can call it as per the card. But just phenomenal. Beautiful, simple stainless steel pins for this. Nice lanyard hole on here. Alright, everything's rounded, it's very comfortable. Very classic design here with the palm swell, basically putting a choil, finger choil here for the pointer finger, and of course for the pinky finger here, so it really fills out the hand. It's extremely comfortable to hold. And just a classic knife, classic design. And George makes the sheaths as well. Beautiful sheath. Just phenomenal. Little tool work in here. I like the dip down as well. Alright. It's just classy looking. I also like his logo. GI. It's very cool. The hand rubbed finish here. Kind of rustic looking. Almost like it's already a little bit used. Sheath has worked out beautifully for me. Fits very nicely on the belt and everything. I did have a little bit of stitching come apart, but I did rub into something and it just kind of popped it right there. So I'm just going to glue those little tabs down and should be just fine. But nice attention to detail here. Knife aside, the sheath alone is beautiful. But just this classic kind of rustic look to it really matches this particular knife. So anyway, I'm going to show you, this is what came with this knife. This is a little like birth certificate, or certificate of authenticity as it says there. So we have GI Custom Backpacker with vine and thorn filework. This knife was handmade in the USA from '01. Tool steel heat treated to 60 Rockwell. And then hand material is brown canvas Guicarta. Leather sheath was also made, handmade by GI Customs Knives. So you see this one was born 2/2/14, and I got it about, I don't know, 3-4 days later after it was made. Been using it ever since. I love the knife, and I always kind of, you know, meant to get around to doing a review on it because I really did like it, and I know things pop up here and there. And during, I'm not going to even mention it in here, but I did use this knife quite a bit and got quite a bit of blood on it. And I was using this, you guys know what I'm talking about, I'm just not even going to say it. But I did process lots of things with this knife, and I was surprised as to really what it was capable of. Just absolutely phenomenal. Came with a beautiful edge. I am a huge fan of '01. I've always liked it. It's a fantastic tool steel. I actually will pick '01 over D2 any day. And I'm kind of torn between '01 and A2. I love the A2 that I have in another fixed blade. But '01 is, it's a phenomenal steel to be used for something like this, kind of an outdoorsy knife. Really nice. But to mention, you know, the '01 is a tool steel, and I did form quite a patina on this just in using it with things like blood. Alright, so if you don't want that, it's very easy to, you know, kind of refinish or repolish up or whatever. But I don't mind. This is a using knife. This is a knife that I'm actually going to get out there and continue to use all the time. And, you know, I'll go back to the little story. When I went down to Blade Show, I was hanging out with Mike Gavco and Jeff Tough Thumbs. And I know every year when they're at Blade Show, they go over to Bruce's house, Nebulax123. Shout out for everyone, all awesome people. I'm gonna do a whole separate vlog from my experience at Blade Show. But anyway, I know they always go every year, and you know, day was kind of closing out a little bit at the show, and Mike's like, hey, you want to come back to Bruce's house? And I'm like, oh, I don't want to be, like, I don't want to invite myself, and because he didn't know. So anyway, long story short, we ended up at the house. It was a pleasure to meet Bruce. But when I first got out of the truck, I saw this guy standing on one. And I'm like, oh, who's this guy? You know, because it's awesome meeting new people all the time. And I shook his hand. He introduced himself as George, of course, Eichard of GI Customs. And I'm like, no way. That is so. First of all, I had no idea he'd even be there. So I had no idea I would even have the chance to ever meeting him in person. So it's just a gentleman, really, really nice guy in all the communications we've had. And like I said, it makes phenomenal work. What a nice surprise to have seen him in person and talked about his knives a little bit. And then, of course, we got into the neck knives and stuff. I posted that video. Christina fell in love with them. You know, she had to have one right away, and just what an awesome guy. But it was a really nice surprise and treat to be able to meet him in person. And we were discussing this knife, and I told him it's been on the back burner for a while for review, and he's like, no rush. And he was just happy to see that his knives were getting used, and used well. You know, there's no shame in collecting knives and stuff, but a lot of people, they'll buy, you know, custom work, and, you know, they want to retain that value, so they don't use them. They're afraid to get scratches on them. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just a collector's standpoint. You buy something, you keep it in mint condition for your collection. You display it and fondle it every now and then, wipe the fingerprints off, and eventually you'll sell it for something else or trade it or whatever. But you know, George is a knife guy. You know, he's based out of North Carolina. Grew up in the whole, you know, hunting, fishing, wood scene, and he knows what it means to have a good quality knife, and that's why he started making them. And it's just nice. It was really nice to be able to meet him and to discuss his work and, you know, the theory behind him making knives and stuff. It added so much more to the story, the person behind this knife. There's a lot of awesome knives out there, and you guys know, maybe you hear about makers and stuff, or you hear people talking about them. Oh, that guy's nice, or oh, this guy's story is this, and you get one of those knives in your hands, and it's really cool. But to talk to the person, you know, the artist that actually made something out of nothing, and then to actually, you know, to own that piece, it adds to it so much. This was an awesome, beautiful knife when I got it. And then I used it and liked it even more, knowing that it was very capable. When I met George, it bumped it up even more, because now there's a story behind it. There's a person, there's a face, you know, there's a memory. It is a beautiful, beautiful knife. And, you know, it's been one of my main bushcraft knives. I have to kind of get back into doing it now that, you know, summer's, you know, not coming to a close yet, but trust me, you get busy with stuff, and all of a sudden, you know, where'd summer go? Now it's fall. So although I've been outside doing a lot of stuff, I really want to get out there and do even more stuff before it starts getting cool out again, and then eventually cold, because the months keep sneaking up on you. But yeah, this has been my main bushcraft, you know, slash processing knife, you know, slash housework knife. This is a phenomenal knife for food prep. You don't have to be a camper, okay, to use this in your kitchen. This is a beautiful kitchen knife. For all intent and purposes, if, you know, you got some crappy, you know, Walmart kitchen cutlery set, you know, you break this out, this will handle anything you need to in the kitchen, whether you're, you know, slicing vegetables, chopping meat, doing whatever you're doing. As far as like a camp knife, because this was specifically meant and, you know, called the backpacker because it was supposed to be used for, you know, camp use and stuff. It's a small to medium sized camp knife. This pairs very, very well with a full-size hatchet or something. Because you have this size of a knife, I wouldn't really pair this with like a large fixed blade. I know there's a lot of people out there that use large fixed blades for processing wood and chopping and stuff. I personally use it a lot for testing. But in an actual situation where I'm going to be deep in the woods or camping or something, I want to have the proper tools. And there's a lot of great fixed blades that chop, but nothing chops better than a really good hatchet or axe, right? You know, pair that with a good saw and something like this on your side, and you have every cutting chore, you know, that's necessary taken care of. So this is a fantastic companion on your side, whether you are really out in the bush camping and doing that kind of stuff, or you're practicing, you know, wilderness survival, or you're, you know, in your backyard, you know, screwing around, you want to whittle something. It's just really versatile knife. You know, the blade shape, the grind on here, full flat ground blade. And George puts just a kind of a micro bevel on here. So it's flat grind with convex edge, just like his neck knives. Comes super, super sharp. It's just a nice quality blade. All right, feels great in the hand. Like I said, finished very nicely. Scales are completely rounded. Those pins are polished nice. All right, the file work is a beautiful addition to this as well. Of course, because this is custom, the prices will vary a little bit. He has one on his site right now for $225, so come in and around $225. File work, of course, will always be a little bit extra. Just depends. Talk to him. Send an email. I actually have his card here. So there's his contact information. Once again, he does have a YouTube page. All right, very approachable guy, very nice guy. Anything you're interested in having made or done, he can work. He's a custom knife maker. You make whatever you want. However, if you like this particular style of knife, you can build off of this. Like, hey, I really like this, but maybe a different blade shape, or maybe this, that, the other thing, different handle materials. Talk to George, see what he's got, see what he can get for you, what he can do for you. When you start, meeting people in the industry, you really start thinking about where your money's been going all these years, and you really start focusing on, you want to get a good product, but you also want to support good people. And there's 1,001 knife makers out there, and new ones every single day. And one day I hope to be a knife maker myself. But it's just really cool and nice to know when hard-earned money is going to good people, who are making a living on it, feeding their family, and doing the right thing. And George is definitely one of those guys. All right, so I will always support him and his work as long as he continues to make a good quality product. I'll always support him. What an awesome character. Really genuine guy, down to earth. I can't say enough about him. I'm really glad that he makes a good product because he's such a nice guy. I'd hate to crap all over his knives, but honestly, there's nothing bad I can say about him. All right, guys, I want to give you a quick weight on this. Something like custom knives, you can't easily get specs. This is very wieldy in the hand. It's sturdy, but it's lightweight. All right, so let's get a weight on this. 4.6 ounces, and then with the sheath, just because it's here, 6.5 ounces. All right, also I'm going to give you a quick measurement on the stock, right at 3 mil. I can show that. There we go. Or 0.12 inches. All right, so that's pretty much it. That is the GI Customs Backpacker. It is, right now my favorite fixed blade. I just absolutely love it. So thanks for watching, guys. I always appreciate your time. Check out George's YouTube channel. I'll put the link down below if you want to keep up with his work and follow what he's up to all the time. You can certainly do so. And in the meantime, have a great day. I'll see you soon.